Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. It is Wednesday morning, November the 15th, 2017, episode number 218. And this morning outside my window is a freezing cold morning. It is 28 degrees outside, and it looks like one of my favorite movies outside, which is The Legend of Bagger Vance. It's not, the top one or two movies, but I love that movie. But in that movie, they have the early morning on the golf course where the fog and mist is so thick and the sun is coming up in the background and you can see the silhouette of the trees and it's a beautiful morning. That is what it looks like outside my window this morning. I almost wish that I had somebody outside there playing bagpipes. That would be perfect. It would be a perfect bagpipe fog frost morning. How else do you explain that? I don't even know. But anyways, that's what kind of morning it is. And it is Wednesday, the middle of the week. And very exciting. So Monday and Tuesday moving on quite well. And today's going to be another great day. 7 days away, guys. 7 days. Wait, is it 7 days or is it 8 days? So if today is 1, that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 8 days. Sorry. 8 days away until we'll be eating bird and watching the parade on television, and it'll be an exciting day. So, but hey, we got this day in front of us. It's going to be a great day as well. So I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's Monday and Tuesday is moving along quite nicely, and you're progressing and heading in the direction that you want to head. So I have a shower thought for you this morning from one of my favorite newsletters, The Hustle. The shower thought for today is this: besides killing germs, hand sanitizer is also great at reminding you of minor injuries to your hand that you had forgotten about. True story, right? You squirt the stuff in your paws, start rubbing it, you're like, oh, yeah, forgot about that one. It's absolutely brilliant. Very insightful. So that's our shower thought for the morning, and accurate as ever. I don't know who sits around and comes up with these things on a regular basis like they do, but they're fantastic. Just very well done. So I've got some stories lined up for you this morning. You know what? Before we get into stories, guys, I want to remind everybody, whether you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, and especially on the podcast, that our time together every day, the morning routine, I absolutely appreciate you guys joining in every day, and it is very encouraging to hear your stories when you see me or when you send me messages or emails. That you enjoy our time together. I appreciate that, and I really love that's one of the things that drives me to continue on is the little things here and there to keep pushing me forward. And all I got to say is I just want to remind you, especially on the podcast, that if you're listening, please give a review and rate it or like it, and that helps it be found by other people. Honestly, I don't spend any money on advertising and stuff like that because it costs enough time and money just to do what we're doing. So I don't do any of that, and nobody will find it unless we share it or like it or comment and then on the podcast rate it. So I ask you just, if you enjoy our time together, give it a rating, give it a star, or a like or whatever, and let's see who else will find this. So, but I do appreciate you joining me each and every day, and it really is encouraging, and I like it. So, but anyways, stories for today. So the first story that I have for you today is 5. This is if you're for interviews, but just because the article is for you, giving you tips when you go on an interview, doesn't mean that these things don't apply to the rest of your life. Because what if you have to go to a meeting at the school with one of your kids' parents, or you have to go you're interacting with people all the time. So this article is called "These 5 Unconscious Actions Impact First Impressions at Interviews." Well, you have first impressions all the time. So here are 5 things written in this article. Great article. Number 1, pay attention to the pre-interview conversation or meeting. If you're going to go to the school and you got to meet with your parents or your kids' teachers or something like that, or any meeting you have to do, pay attention to this. How's your day going is the question. Did you run into traffic getting here? Isn't this weather crazy? The questions people ask at the beginning of interviews can lead to unconscious bias. The small talk before you get to the meat, people will start to make a first impression. So you have to pay attention to that. To nail this part of your interview, mirror the person you're talking to. Adapt to their mannerisms or behaviors, such as leaning in, hand gestures, smiling. I learned this a long time ago when I was learning how to do sales a little bit better, or not really sales, but how to better communicate. It's called mirror and matching. If you're talking to somebody at a table and they cross their arms and sit back like this, you cross your arms and you sit back like this. If they lean up onto the table in the front of the seat, then you lean up on the table in the front of your seat. You mirror and match what they're doing because that makes them comfortable. If you're sitting back like this and you're up on the front of the table like this, they're going to be like, this guy's aggressive and in my face, like defense mode. You know, you mirror and match. So great insight on that first one. Number 2, handshakes do matter. A firm handshake while looking the interviewer in the eye, especially for women, leads to a higher likelihood of getting the job. You want a firm handshake, but not overly firm. Now, this is not as easy as it sounds, because we've heard this before. And as I spend time with students and stuff, and I meet them and whatever, and we shake hands, I always like, hey, where are you at? Give me a squeeze. Let me know you're there on the other end of that hand, you know? But you also meet guys or ladies too, who give you a handshake, and man, you can tell they're putting great effort into that thing to squeeze the snot out of your hand, right? You're like, whoa, what's going on? So you got to find a balance in there. You know, you just got to find a balance. If you don't know what it is, ask a friend or somebody to shake hands with you and help them help you. As Jerry Maguire would say, help me to help you. So anyways, number 3, suits still work. With business attire getting more casual, you might be tempted to skip the suit. Clothes have a big influence in first impressions. A tailored suit makes a male look more confident, successful, wealthy, and flexible than a non-tailored suit. A female applicant wearing masculine clothing appears more forceful and aggressive. They're more likely to be hired if that's the kind of position that they're applying for. So there you have it then. Number 4, this one is a big oversight. Pay attention to your shoes. If you want a glimpse into someone's personality, look down. People can tell or assume a lot about you from the shoes you wear. For example, expensive shoes make you look wealthy, colorful shoes send a signal that you're an extrovert, clean shoes make you look conscientious, and ankle boots tend to make the wearer look aggressive. Clean your shoes up. If you can't afford new shoes, I get it. At least clean the ones that you've got. Make them look as good as you can. Give them a coat of polish or something like that. A lot cheaper than new shoes for sure. Number 5, wear a watch. Smartphones have made wearing watches optional for timekeeping. People who wear a watch appear to be more conscientious. You send the signal that you'll be punctual. So those are some insights into a meeting if you're interviewing or whatever else, to help you come across the way that you'd like to come across and hopefully achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve. So there you have it then. I know I had not worn a watch for, man, I can't even tell you, 15 years probably until I got a watch this past year. And I was like, boy, I don't know. And I started wearing it, and sure enough, I actually enjoy it. So I didn't think I would. But anyways, next story. Gibson guitars, guys. Well-known name, right? Everybody has heard the name Gibson. It's a famous brand of guitars. This is very interesting, though. Okay, Michigan City is the home. Michigan City, Kalamazoo. Excuse me, Kalamazoo is a Michigan city. Is the original home of Gibson guitar, built in 1917. The Gibson factory there created some of the most iconic guitars ever made. But beyond the instruments, the factory was also home to the Kalamazoo Gals. The Kalamazoo Gals, a group of over 200 women who kept the guitar manufacturer going during World War II. Little known information, I guess. So, started by a local mandolin designer, Orville Gibson, in 1902, was the Gibson Guitar Company. Actually, it wasn't a Gibson Guitar Company originally. It was a mandolin company. The only thing that slowed the company down during its first decade was World War I. As men were shipped off to battlefields, the demand for the instruments began to diminish. It also didn't help that upon returning home, the sweet, soft sounds of the mandolin were not what these soldiers wanted to hear. They had moved on to jazz and more high-energy stuff like that. They began a new era of guitar making after nobody wanted mandolins. Unfortunately, World War II happened after that. With the ongoing of war, many of the Gibson's competitors had switched from instrument making to ammunition making in their effort to support the war at home. Gibson joined as well. The factory began hiring women to make ammunitions. Interesting, right? The guitar factory was actually a munitions company for a period of time. Between 1942 and 1946, it hired more women than any other guitar-turned-munitions manufacturer. But secretly, these women weren't just making bullets. They were also making guitars. And this was the little-known fact. The Kalamazoo Gals made Gibson's banner line of guitars. An acoustic guitar had a gold banner on the headstock with the slogan, "Only Gibson is good enough." And they made those guitars until the war. Once the war was over and the men came back, everything went back to normal, and then they eventually moved on to Nashville, which is now their home. But interesting fact. So if you buy one of those guitars that was created between 1942 and 1946, it was made by the Kalamazoo Gals, a very historic group of workers. Interesting information. So last little nugget for you here today. This is a new app that became available yesterday. I have not downloaded it. The name Greta Van Susteren, for those who can remember that name, depending on your age, was part of the O.J. Simpson trial. That's where she got her fame from and then became a talk show host and yada, yada, yada. Anyways, Greta Van Susteren has entered into the app market. She has released her first app yesterday, the 14th. It's called Sorry, and the purpose of it is to let people send apologies to one another. I don't know what to say about this. If you have a problem, if you can't apologize to somebody without using an app, I mean, come on, right? Is it really an apology when you use an app to say, "I'm sorry, do you accept or not?" Like, what is that? This is crazy. You will get to accept or reject apologies from a friend, which is kept private between you and that friend, or accept and reject apologies of public figures, which we all get to see and vote to accept or reject. They have a case here. If you remember months ago, I don't remember how long ago, a while, but Kathy Griffin, the comedian, had done a public comedy skit that everybody was outraged, right? So they used that for like the case here that she could have gone and used this app and said, "I apologize." And then people could rate whether they accept her apology or reject her apology. So then she would know and the public would know whether she has been let back in or is still an outcast. This is what this app is for, is to do this, is to do public apologies or private. All I know is the day that I apologize to somebody by using an app, I have definitely feel like I took a step in the wrong direction. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, the app is available yesterday. Download it. Check it out. You know, why not? I guess, see what it's all about. So, hey, it's interesting thinking, Greta Van Susteren. So we'll see how you do. But anyways, on we go. Google Trends, guys. Top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google were: number 1, California shooting. There was another shooting in California. 2, Duke basketball. Number 3, Firefox Quantum. The newest Firefox, that's a web browser for those who don't know. Number 4 is Celtics, the basketball team. Number 5, Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon was back on air again, paying tribute to his mother who had passed away, and he is back on his show. Number 6, Jordan Sparks. Number 7, Mark Schwann. Number 8, Jeff Sessions. They were pummeling him yesterday. Woo, man, they were all over that guy. Number 9, college football playoff rankings. And number 10 is Blake Shelton from the show The Voice. There you go. So, and those are the top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google Trends. And trending news for today. Top of the list, Zimbabwe's Robert Mugabe confined to home as army takes control of Harare. Wow. Next, what is this? New digital pill keeps patients on track. The first digital pill with an embedded sensor to track whether patients are taking their medication properly has been approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Embedded sensor was the key word in that, guys. Interesting. Okay. After that, we have Australians decisively back gay marriage. Then we have college football playoffs. College football playoff rankings. Alabama is number 1. Then Clemson. Then Miami. Then Oklahoma for all you college football fans. Then we have Bill Frank. Indigo Partners nears deal for 400 Airbus jets. That's a lot of jets. Then we have Blake Shelton is this year's sexiest man alive. Way to go, Blake Shelton. After that, we have Texas State University. Texas State pledge dies after fraternity event. I can't believe it. Another one. Like, this is all over the news, but yet they're still going. Like, if I was in a fraternity, I would not be doing anything dangerous right now. It's all over the news in many cases. Like, that's crazy. After that, we have Maui, Hawaii. Escaped psychiatric patient may be flying to the Bay Area. And that is our trending news for today. By the way, I read an interesting nugget of information yesterday for those who care. There are over 15,000 people in the world today that have a net worth of 50 million or more. I don't know, little nugget. I just read that. You know, I was reading about people hiding their money offshore. 15,000 with a $50 million net worth or more. Very, very intriguing. So the world is doing well. But on we go, guys. How about a passage of wisdom this morning? Today's passage of wisdom is very simple. You know that I'm a huge fan of us looking for opportunities to be encouraging people to others and for living our life for serving other people. I love it how Andy Stanley, who is a pastor from down in Atlanta, had said it once about when somebody was talking about purpose. His question was, who are you here to serve? I love that question because when you find out who you are here to serve, your purpose may be tucked right inside there. I love it. So today's passage is Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 and 25. And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another. Boom. There you go. It is not a freedomism to encourage people and help people move forward. This is not just a theory or that sounds like a good idea. This is straight from our Creator's mouth. This is what we should be doing. And let us consider how we may spur on one another toward love and good deeds. How can we spur each other on towards loving and doing good deeds? Not just us doing them, but how do we spur other people on to doing the same? How do we encourage one another to do that? That is awesome, and that is what we can do with our day today and the rest of the week. We can focus on encouraging other people to be encouragers. Fantastic. So let's pray, guys, and let's get this day started. Father, good morning. Father, I thank you for this passage this morning, and thank you for the wisdom that you have put. I thank you for the words and the direction that you give us. Father, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I wonder, what am I supposed to do with today? Where am I going? What am I doing? What is the purpose of my life? Give me direction. Father, today you have given very clear direction to all of us. To encourage people, to encourage, and to love and do good deeds for one another. That is fantastic. Today, Father, help us find opportunities to do that. Help us to find opportunities to encourage other people, to lift them up, to give them the strength that they need to go out and have extra in their cup that they can spill over into other people in a positive way. Father, we thank you for the blessings that you have given us this week so far, the protections that you've given us this week as we've traveled and gone to work and all the different things that we have done. Thank you for bringing us to this day that we can experience this day, yet another wonderful opportunity to be loved and to love others. Keep us safe today as we go out into the world. We love you. Amen. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thanks for being here today. Don't forget, guys, to like, to share, to leave a review on if you're listening on the podcast, and just let's put it out there, you know? So let's grow our community even bigger so that we can be encouragers of encouragers of encouragers. I appreciate all of your encouragement, encouraging me to go and do what I do each day. So I thank you for that, and I feel blessed. So until tomorrow, guys, when we get together once again in the morning routine, don't forget to be exactly who you were meant to be today. I love you guys. See you later.